Hello students. Today we shall study a prose lesson under the topic Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. This is your chapter number 2 and the topic is written by Nelson Rohilhal Mandela. This is his full name. This is an autobiography of Nelson Mandela. When a person writes about his life on his own, that is called his autobiography. All right. Before you read, apartheid is a political system that separates people according to their race. Can you say which of the three countries named below had a such political system until very recently? The countries are United States of America, South Africa, and Australia. So just guess your answer. I hope you have guessed. Actually, the country is South Africa. Have you heard of Nelson Mandela? Mandela and his African National Congress, briefly known as ANC, spent a lifetime fighting against apartheid. Apartheid is made up of two words, apart and hood, means to keep somebody separated and segregated. Mandela had to spend 30 years in prison. Finally, democratic elections were held in South Africa in 1994 and Mandela became the first black president of a new nation. Actually, children, there was a group of people in South Africa. They were called white people and they discriminated between black people and white people. Means white people dominated the black people. The black people were deprived of their political rights and other kind of rights. Only the white people can achieve and can have the political position in the country. That's why Mandela fought for the freedom of black people. And you know, children, he remained in jail, also in prison for about 30 years. And after 30 years, he established a democratic government in South Africa. And that was the day of 10th May 1994 when he became the first black president of South Africa. He took an oath as the first black president of South Africa. In this extract, we will study about his struggle that he had in his life, and he fought that struggle for the sake of his people, black people. Okay, let us move ahead. In this extract from his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, Mandela speaks about a historic occasion, the inauguration. So, we will get to know about this inauguration. Can you guess what the occasion might be? Check your guess with the news item from the BBC of 10th May 1994. It was published in BBC and the heading goes like this: Mandela becomes South Africa's first black president. Please read it thoroughly, okay? And we will start with the chapter. Here is an activity also for you where you have to match up the meanings of column A with column B. In column A, there are the group of words, the phrases, and the meanings are in column B. Okay, just do it. You can do it with the help of dictionary, or if you will have any kind of doubt, you can ask me. Okay, and later on we will do the activity in our classroom, live classroom. Okay, children, let's move ahead with the text. 10th May, dawned bright and clear. Here, children, dawn and dusk, you must have heard about these words. Dawn is the time of early morning before the sunrise. So here Nelson Mandela tells us that it was 10th May and the morning was bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. Here he talks about the day before, also the time before his oath taking ceremony as the first black president of South Africa. Here, children, the word is besieged and it means to be surrounded closely by, as Mandela tells us that he was surrounded by the world leaders, dignitaries, the VIPs. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. And further, he says that the inauguration ceremony, it would be the largest gathering before and ever of international leaders, and it was the first time when the international leaders means the head of other countries were present in South Africa on South African soil, means on the ground of South Africa. The ceremony took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union buildings in Pretoria. He further says that his ceremony, with ceremony, his oath taking ceremony, it took place in the lovely building, that is Sandstone Amphitheater. It is government building and it is formed by the Union buildings in Pretoria. Do you know, children, Pretoria? Pretoria is the capital of South Africa, and there is Union buildings and where his oath taking ceremony took place. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy. And here he further says that for decades means decade is made up of 10 years. And here he's talking about decades in plural. It means for more than 10 years, maybe 20 years, 30 years, it was the seat of white supremacy. White supremacy means the white people who established their apartheid system, a system which segregated the people on the basis of their race, color. Okay. And now it was the site of a rainbow gathering. Here he calls the gathering rainbow gathering as there were the leaders of different countries. Like in rainbow, there are different kinds of colors, 7 colors. And here the leaders were of different countries. That's why he calls it rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. And the leaders were present there because that was the day when Nelson Mandela's party was going to installation, means going to establish, set up the first democratic and non-racial government. Democratic, you know, children, about democracy. Democracy is known as, here is a famous, definition of Abraham Lincoln, that the government by the people, of the people and for the people, means where the people, the common people are involved. Okay, that is called democratic government. And non-racial means where no discrimination is done on the basis of color, caste and creed. So there was the rainbow gathering of different leaders. Okay, children, let's move ahead. On that lovely autumn day. Now, children, here you also have observed that Nelson Mandela is talking about 10th May. 10th May 1994. And generally May is the season of summer, means summer season in our country, and we can say in northern hemisphere. But as we know that South Africa is situated in Africa continent and it falls in southern hemisphere. So there, when we have summer season, they have their autumn season that time. Okay, because of the geographical condition, we can say that. And it was the autumn day. I was accompanied by my daughter Zenani, and he also says that that day his daughter also with him. And what is the name of his daughter? Zenani. On the podium, podium means stage, Mr. de Klerk was the first sworn as second deputy president. Means first of all who took an oath? Mr. D. Clark, and he took an oath as second deputy president. Then, here you can see the picture of Nelson Mandela in the video. Then Thabo Beki was sworn in as first deputy president. Okay, children, he took an oath as first deputy president, while Mr. D. Clark, he took an oath as second deputy president. Okay, when it was my turn, now Mandela says that when his turn came, I took an oath to obey and uphold the constitution. Uphold means to follow the constitution. You know about a constitution also, a book of rules. That those rules are necessary to run the government. Okay, like we have also our constitution. And to devote myself to the well-being of the republic and its people. Then Mandela says that he also took an oath. And then to the assembled guests and the watching world, I said. And then he addressed the gathering. Assembled means the people who were gathered there, and the people who were watching him on the television. He said, today, all of us do by our presence here confer glory. Confer means, children, here a formal word here means give. Confer glory and hope to newborn liberty out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster. He addressed the gathering and said that by our presence here, all of us, they are just what they are celebrating. They are celebrating the hope to newborn liberty. Newborn liberty. Okay. Here, children, the newborn liberty means new freedom. Liberty means freedom, and that they have got after a long struggle. Now he says that they will give hope to that freedom out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster. Here, an extraordinary human disaster was the discrimination between black and white people by the apartheid policy. Okay, that lasted too long, and lasted means it remained for a long time there in South Africa. Must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. So here he says that now his government will be here forming a society in which all humanity will be proud. Means every citizen will feel proud. Okay, children. Next he says, we who were outlaws not so long ago. Outlaws means here they were not benefited by the world leaders long ago. And not so long means not so long because this is the day when he's taking an oath. So he means to say before that day they were outlaws, have today been given the rare privilege. Privilege means your right to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. And he also says that the people who were considered outlaws by the other countries, the leaders of other countries, now they have got an opportunity to host, to welcome those leaders on their own soil. We thank all of our distinguished international leaders for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice. He further says that, and he welcomes all those people, all distinguished people, and also thank them because they have come there to celebrate their victory, and that is common victory for justice. Because here Nelson Mandela and his team, they fought for justice because they were suffering from the racial discrimination, and it was for peace, for human dignity. What the victory? The common victory was for peace and for human dignity. As every country in the world wants peace, and wants also human dignity. So the leaders came there. Before that, they had not good relation with South Africa when the country was ruled over by the apartheid political system. But now, when Mandela has got the power now, the people, the leaders have come to celebrate this victory with him and also to witness his oath taking ceremony. Okay, children, here is a phrase we who were outlaws. It is given in our glossary part also. It means because of its policy of apartheid. I just talked about this policy of segregation, policy of racial discrimination. Many countries had earlier broken off diplomatic relations with South Africa, and the countries, the leaders who have come today means that day on 10th May 1994, they had not they had not continued their relation with South Africa because of their wrong policy and that policy of apartheid. They just considered inferior to the black people there, and uh, they kept them deprived of their political rights. Okay, rest of the part we will discuss in our next class. Till then, thank you.